Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here with a businesswithtrading.com doing a strategy e-mini trading recap for the 20th of January, Monday, and today was a really good day in the markets. Not as good as Friday, but I will take 2.5 points every day. That would actually not be that bad. But anyway, let's look at what happened today. We took two trades and we were 1 for 1, meaning that we were basically 50% on our win-loss ratio, and we pulled 2.5 points out of the market. Trading like that, I think, is even more important than somebody who says that they're right 99% of the time and make money, and that's obviously not true. Like, that's pretty impossible to do over the long term. But anyway, being right 50% of the time, making money, if you can do that if you can consistently do that, make money when you're only right 50% of the time, then in the long run you'll probably make a lot of money. Do I do this all the time? No, definitely not. That's not what I try to do. I try to be correct more than 50%. Doesn't always work out like that. But I hear different things. Some people say they would rather be right 30% of the time. Some people say they'd rather be right 40% of the time. Some people say they'd rather be right 80% of the time. In reality, when you're trading, it doesn't really matter what other people say. Paying attention to what other people say. Like, for example, I have a friend that just buys shit to keep up with other people. If someone else gets a new shirt, they have to go out and get a shirt that's even better than that shirt in their mind. Or go out and get a bigger house than other people have. Or, have different gadgets that people don't have. Or something like that. And I don't particularly like that. I don't really care. I would prefer to, have a nice looking house, but I don't have to have like a house that makes people, poop their pants whenever they see it or something like that. And trading is that way. You need to be humble like that in the trading arena. I mean, over time, once you become good and everything, yeah, you can develop an ego, and some people have. In the trading industry, different floor traders, that had been floor traders for 20 some odd years. Some of them will have an ego, yeah, but a lot of them are still humble. If you know any floor traders. But anyway, not to digress, let's get into what we did today. Our first trade was a long, basically right around here, and we quickly got stopped out on that one. So that didn't really work out. The price was coming down. I was like, yeah, let's get long. It turned out to be a really bad idea. I haven't really looked at things to analyze things yet to see if maybe I should have held off on that. But it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. Once we took that loss, that's when it becomes important. What are you going to do now? Your first trade's a loss. You're down 2 points per contract. What do? And a lot of new traders do really, really bad things. They don't do what they're supposed to do. And, granted, some of them just never learn. Some of them were never taught. But it is what it is. So what I did in the room, what we did, is we just watched things for a little bit. Waited to see what happened. We got stopped out where, price did come up a little bit, and then it just rolled over. And it just got really ugly. Then it kind of chopped around a little bit, so we decided, well, let's take a long. So we took a long down here. Price came up, came down, we added to it, and then we got out up here. Not the best trade in the world, but we were able to make back what we lost here and then some. So we ended up 2.5 points up on the day, and this was pretty much before 10:30. Then after that, we kind of watched things, but price got very, very sideways and consolidative. Just wasn't really showing anything, and it's really difficult to trade something like this. You have a high of 6.5, a low of '01, and then the low got a little higher, so it got very, and then right here it's very, very, very narrow. The range is impossible to trade this pretty much. And then it opens up a little bit after that. But you have to know what you're okay with. I'm okay with going home with 2.5 points, and then we can come back and fight again, because that's what trading's all about. I wanted to highlight today, because I do feel it's very, very important. It's important to be able to take a loss as your first trade of the day. Probably not a good trade. Probably should have held off on that. And by good trade, I mean it wasn't like a great setup, but it was a decent setup. At least thinking back in real time what I was thinking it was a decent setup. Sometimes that happens. You just get stopped out right away. But I think it's important to show the losses and the gains, and that's why I do these videos, so that way I can document that. Not only for myself, but other people watch these videos too. I get feedback, and if you have any feedback, feel free to share. I'm an open book. I like to talk about what I'm doing, whether it's successful or unsuccessful. I think it's important. It's important for me to talk about, because I'm acknowledging that I had an unsuccessful trade. It seems like a lot of people, they have trades and they take it personally. They're like, oh, I made a winning trade, or I made a losing trade. When in reality, who gives a shit? Your trade's successful, your trade's unsuccessful. It has nothing to do with you as a person. It's not an employee mentality. We're not trying to get a raise. I can give myself a raise whenever I want. I just add contracts, and I get a raise. How cool is that? So that's, if you're not as successful as you want to be, just work towards things that you really want to do, and you will be able to get there. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight is I'm doing a live webinar series, and I've been promoting that a little bit. I don't really, promote things too much. Like, I don't do a video series trying to sell somebody on something, but I think it's an important live video series. I don't do a lot of video series live. Most of the courses are recorded material that I have, that I update from time to time, because I feel everything needs to be updated, whether you're just updating examples or you're updating material, because I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly getting better at trading. I am a lifelong learner, and I think every trader needs to be a lifelong learner, because the market's always different, the market's always changing. It's similar, but it's always a little bit different, and I think that's important. So anyway, I wanted to show you a trade that we took earlier today. Pretty much around 11:45-ish. We took along around 1999. And we did this in the future swing trade group. I was eyeing this level. We talked about it in the Sunday night video. I've talked about it with members, and we've been eyeing this level. So getting along here I thought was very important. I want to get long here. If we get stopped out, so be it. We're up enough this month. A stop out really wouldn't even matter. But I want to get long. So we got long here. Market moved up very, very nicely, now we're after hours right over here at 2015.75 or 2016 actually. It's fluctuating. But I think that we could have a little gap up tomorrow and we could go into maybe 2060 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. But we're going to play it smart. That's what we do. But because I had this level identified many days before today, I was able to get into this trade. And that's basically what this webinar series is going to be about. It's going to be about identifying levels that that you want to place a trade, or levels that that might be reversal levels. When price breaks below here, it ends up continuing. It breaks below here, it ends up continuing. And then we had support on this big level that we talked about Sunday night. If you go to the Sunday night video, I'll try to link it in the blog post just so you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm doing this live video series. The first one starts in a few days, so if you want to get involved, go ahead and get involved. The price is going to go back up to regular price after this webinar series. But I think it's important to be able to get a grasp on things. It's going to be catered more towards swing trading, but it can be used for day trading as well. But it's something that I use a lot, and I think it's a very, very important. It's full of great concepts. So, if you're interested, check it out. If not, hopefully you enjoyed the day trading video, and keep your comments coming. My email address, support@abusinesswithtrading.com. Upper right hand side of the website, under the About tab, contact us. You can hit that as well and contact me. If you pull up my website on your mobile phone, scroll down to the bottom, it says click here to call our office. You click that and it calls our office, and everything rings directly to me. So you'll either get me or you can leave a message and I will return your phone call. So you have all those ways to contact me. You can leave messages under the video as well. So thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.